I am your Uncle Opie. This is Black Shirt Brutal Broadcast. We are here. My spiritual advisor Fortray, my brother Lyrical Assailant, and the legend, the Hitchcock of Hip-Hop, Prozak the man himself. We're about to do an interview really fast. We won't take up too much of your time. When did you first get into this shit?
Back in 1860. No, I've been rapping for a long time, man. I mean, I made my first track when I was like 17, but that don't count because you don't want to hear that shit. But it's been a long time, man. Like since the mid 90s. But I mean, more professionally, I would say like early 2000s and the national early 2000s. So
right.
So for the people that don't know where you're from, because you would think that everybody knows the strange music. Unfortunately, not everybody does, and we have to talk some people into it.
What do you mean?
So,
why are you offending the man on the first day?
I am not world famous. No, I'm from Michigan. That's
oh,
where I'm
for sure.
from.
I've been to 9 different states and 3 different countries, and every place I've been, they've heard of you.
Hey, that's
and I'm going to tell you this right now, though. There is going to be some people that want to know where did you come from and what made you start.
Well, I came from Michigan, from the underground, and my roots specifically, unlike unlike everybody at Strange, is I came up more in the scene of the wicked, the dark.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I came up in the world where ICP was killing the underground and House of Crazies, which then became Twisted. So those are my roots. You know what I'm saying? But that's obviously not all I do. In fact, that's very little of what I do, but that's a part of me.
Right.
And I do embrace that because that's where I'm from, and I always have respect for that. So that's kind of where I come from, so to speak. But obviously, I've got the political infusion, I got the metal infusion in the music, and I'm not happy doing one thing. And I won't do one fucking thing.
So with that,
I'll do multiple things.
With that said,
is this fucking thing recording? Because I'm the one that pushed the button. What if it wasn't the whole time? What if it wasn't?
And we had a great experience together.
And then when I go to turn it off, then it's recording. So it's just awkward. Us going.
like 4 minutes and something.
That's the practice interview. That's
right.
all it was.
See, that's not an Apple product, so I don't know shit about that. Because I only fuck with Apple.
I know I'm broke as fuck. I got
Sponsors for the win.
No, I just
One thing that I would like to ask you
I get on a PC and I'm like, what the fuck is Windows?
One thing I'd like to ask you is, and I'm sure you've probably gotten this before, but if not, I'm sorry.
Why am I so skinny? Well,
where is it you plan to go?
Where do I plan to go?
Yeah, from here now, with all the success that you've had, where do you plan to go next?
Right. Do you want to own a label? Do you want to own a corporation? What's going on?
Well, I do a lot of documentary work. I do a lot of film work. I do a lot of stuff that people don't even know that I do.
Right.
Because I work on different films and such for people, and I don't care to really market that.
Tell them
it's
about
just
it.
Well, I can't. They can't know about it. I was speaking to his shirt.
it is the
God
face.
damn it. Yeah, no, I do a lot of different video stuff. But I mean, where do I plan on going with it? I just plan on being as real as possible with the fans. Because I don't fucking need to do music to make a living.
Right.
This is what I do because I want to.
Because it's fun.
I make a lot more money doing video work and directing and producing than music will ever pay. I want to be here. I want to connect with the fans. That's why I get in the fucking crowd and I perform. And that's why I meet and greet every fan for no charge.
Which is always
That's just me. That's how I perform.
No, you're like the only one that fucking does it.
If I didn't do this, I don't want to be here. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to be on stage like a zoo animal with a barricade 20 feet out and people are like, hey!
But what about your
Woo!
haunting DVDs is being hustled and grinded out there in the parking lot towards every show that you got going on? How did you get started with that? And what's that all about?
Bring up the whole
Hitchcock
of Hip-Hop thing.
How that came to be was there was a point in time where I was taking a little bit of time off of music, and during that time I decided, okay, well, there's some things I need to get out of my system, and directing and producing a film is one of them. So this is going to be the very fast story of it, but so I shot a film. It's called The Haunting on Hamilton Street. Directed it. Brought it to the biggest theater in my city, which holds 2,000 people, and I said, I want to have a premiere. And they said, well, you won't draw but 200 people. I mean, this is the Temple Theater, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fuck you, I want 2 nights, 4,000 people.
Right.
Well, that was a ballsy fucking thing to do, you know what I'm saying? So then reality set in like a week later where I'm like, fuck, 4,000 tickets. And so literally, that's what we did. And a week before the premiere, we had sold like 60 tickets, and I was ready to jump off a bridge. In fact, my hype guy that's here right now, he's the one that invested into the project. So he was ready to jump off the bridge before me, because it was his fucking money, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great talent.
Yeah, he fucking sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that good. But long story short, though, like 3 days before the premiere, sold out 4,000 tickets.
Damn.
And I've done that 7 consecutive times, and this year, hopefully, knock on wood, will be 8. Is that even fucking wood?
Who knows?
It's fucking jinx me. That's fake wood.
Also is that. But I like the fact that this guy's not only came from trying to do music, came up to be one of the most highly successful people on one of the most independent labels that's ever been established in the history of music, but he's also got his own
Cash
thing
Money
going
Records. Oh, no, strange music.
Cash Money, that's why he's not getting paid for shit. No limit.
This dude's also got his own docuseries going on with like hauntings and whatnot. This man is doing multiple fields of not only research but exhibiting his talents. So if either of you guys got anything else to say, I'm gonna leave it to the rest of my Black Shirt squad to ask you anything that they feel like.
The best.
Hey, I'm part of the fucking Black Shirt
Yeah,
squad.
Black Shirt. Black Shirt.
You answering, all right? Yeah. Sit there and look pretty. You gorgeous bastard.
All right, the only question I
Everyone
got
tells me that.
left over, I get this a lot, is like that, you know, you can do every genre possible. Have you ever considered putting out like a rock album strictly, or have you?
No, I
already?
definitely have, man.
Right.
You know, and it's hard to do that, especially when, you know, there's so much at stake when you put out a record, because a record label's going to look at you and be like, so you put out X amount of records and now you're just going to do a whole record like this.
Right.
Because no matter what, I'll say it like this: you see it at the fucking shows, people are moshing, people are digging it, people are loving it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Explain this to me though. I got a track called "The End of Us" with fucking DJ Starscream, Sid Wilson from Slipknot, multi-platinum, Grammy-winning artist, right?
Yeah, right.
YouTube hits like 150,000.
Out the ass.
Boo. Right? Until then, 1.7 million. Million miles away, million. Everything, but when I do the metal rock shit, or the metal hip hop shit, the hits are always the lowest.
Right.
You know, so I know, therefore, that my fan base collectively
Expects
doesn't
you to
want
be
that
rapping.
from me.
Yeah, that's kind
Exactly.
of
So that's the only reason why. And if I had more time and more resource, I would do it just for the fuck of it.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to keep putting it in
Which
there
I
and
think-
those that don't like it.
I think that would break you through that threshold, though, to let other people be more accustomed to a different genre that you want to
I think just me going on stage
You're
with
too
fucking
fucking
band
talented
behind
to
me.
be ignored in a
That's
different
fucking
style.
Right.
So as far as that goes, like, what are your musical influences? As far as like bands, artists, you know,
Realistically?
Yeah, realistically.
Absolutely.
Very little to no hip hop at all.
Right.
I don't. I say it all the time, and
Love
people are
it.
like, "Oh, he's
Yeah.
full of shit." I don't own one rap album, and I don't give a fuck if you believe that.
Right.
Nothing. Zero. Nothing.
I
I'm
got up there
proud
and
of
go,
this
Joel.
Not because I don't like rap, but you know what I'm saying. It's hard to explain, but like I fuck with a lot of Black Sabbath, shit like that, old school like Sepultura, Slayer, a lot of metal, a lot of weird shit.
Right.
I do obviously like hip hop, and I came up in hip hop, but there just gets to a point where you're like, shut the fuck up, I don't care.
It's tiring.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Quit mumbling or
Right.
whatever the fuck you do.
Wherever it's going.
Nowadays, everybody tries to chop and chop and chop, and then you look at the lyrics and you go, "What the fuck?
What is
Shut
this
the
shit?"
fuck up."
You said
if
the
you're
same
gonna if you're
thing
gonna
9
chop, at
times.
least be like Tech or a handful of artists that actually
Right.
says some dope shit.
They're like saying a Panda Express menu. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's few people that do that shit correctly. You know, and Tech being like the pinnacle of that.
Right.
Everybody else, get a fucking thesaurus, fucking say something.
Read a dictionary, read a
Yeah,
book.
and the mumble
do
shit. What the
something.
fuck's the mumble shit?
I don't even know
I
anymore.
know.
Ah, dude, it's just.
I don't know where that came
They're like,
from.
I'm on coding. I've done coding. I can't do that.
You know what though? We talk all that shit, but if we got fucked up, we'd be loving it right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
right. Like, oh, you know, this shit's pretty dope.
Let's record
you know?
this shit right now.
Let's delete that shit offline that we said.
Can't quite literally say that I'd be bumping all the crap that's pumped out through the radio waves on mainstream,
No.
even if I was that messed up.
If you did a lot of drugs, you might appreciate it. How do you not? Dude,
That might be the
you know what?
How do you
Maybe,
know if
maybe
you
we
ever
don't
tried
know
it, bro?
shit. Maybe it's our fault. We're not doing enough fucking drugs.
Hey, maybe they're the real artists.
I'm
seriously.
slacking. We're all slacking.
Yeah, Justin Bieber all of a sudden becomes like philosophy.
yeah.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
I totally get what the fuck he was saying there. Just do another 8-ball and fucking shoot up.
Addicted to NyQuil.
Yeah, totally.
Do an 8-ball, do a half sleeve, you'll understand everything.
All right, well, we won't take up any more of your time. We know you're a busy man. We just appreciate fucking everything, brother, for real. Thank you so much. I am your Uncle Opie. Once again, this is Black Shirt Brutal Broadcast with spiritual advisor Fortray, my brother lyrical assailant, the man himself, Prozak. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in.
Best interview ever.
Hands down. Fucking hands down.